Hi guys, welcome to another episode of Kickin' with Karan. Today I have Tejas Karmarkar, who works for Oracle Cloud. Hey Tejas, welcome back to or actually should I say welcome to the show actually for the first time.
Thank you for having me, Karan.
Yeah,
Happy
of
to be.
course, of course. So for my audience, why don't you go ahead, give a little bit of background about yourself. We've obviously crossed paths together, back in my previous job, your previous job. So why don't we just kind of cycle through your history a little bit and for the audience.
Absolutely. So, as Karan mentioned, my name is Tejas. I joined Oracle about 2.5 years ago, and I'm director for industries for OCI North America Cloud Engineering. Before Oracle, I spent about 12 years in Microsoft. In last few years, I spent in Azure Compute team, worked on HPC products, as well as bootstrapping some of the industry verticals for our HPC business in Azure. And before that, I worked for one of the strongest partners that OCI has, ISV, called Altair Engineering. So I'm an engineer by trade, and happy to be here at OCI doing exciting things in industry verticals.
Got it. So industry verticals, that's interesting because I think every cloud provider these days kind of is pivoting from just plain old sort of workload one, workload two to now being more industry focused. At the end of the day, people just buy computers. So like, what does industry really mean?
Yeah, so my team primarily handles 4 industry verticals or kind of works on it. It's healthcare, manufacturing, retail, and financial services. And customers, what we hear from customers in these verticals is they really care about cloud providers providing value and tailoring the solutions to their business need or business outcomes. So take an example for a retail customer like McDonald's. McDonald's runs their entire financial system on top of Oracle applications. And we help McDonald's bring those applications on top of OCI, thereby delivering the value to help McDonald's close their financial books, so to speak, at the end of the quarter in a more faster, more agile way, so that they don't have to worry about infrastructure. They can focus on what is important to them, that's closing the books on time.
Got it. So you talked a little bit about retail, manufacturing, healthcare, financial services. Why these, and why not something like oil and gas, or I think Oracle as a company is very strong in a lot of them, but like, why did we start here?
Yeah, I think what we look for where the sweet spot is for Oracle and its vast assets across especially on the application side, right? And how we can bring applications and infrastructure together to make the magic happen, so to speak. So if you look at OCI, OCI provides the underlying compute storage network and lots of other services like identity and so on and so forth. So OCI almost becomes like a backbone for all the Oracle applications. And then when you dive deep into these 4 verticals, Oracle has the strongest presence in retail, as an example. Oracle has a broad set of tools that can go all the way from supply chain to analytics to omnichannel to merchandising, so on and so forth, all the way up to customer experience in retail. That's why we chose retail, because we have such a strong affinity to that vertical based on the applications that we have and the underlying infrastructure we have provided.
And this is part of our GBU application suite that you're talking
exactly.
about. Right.
So our GBU applications go at the heart of these industries, and customers are really betting their business on top of Oracle. And now OCI coming into play, it kind of provides the underlying platform to run all these applications and do much more. So that's why we kind of chose these verticals. And we have done great things in manufacturing vertical that we can talk later in the show.
Yeah, let's give some examples, right? I think you talked about McDonald's, right, as a really fundamental retail example. I mean, I remember somebody telling me that even the POS systems, right, are systems that are sold by Oracle GBUs. And so, you may be a customer walking in and, getting a service from a retailer, and it's all Oracle stack at the end of the day, and having that affinity to Oracle Cloud, being able to do things that are, interesting from that data could be could be value that we're adding on top of the customer, right?
Yeah, exactly. So as I said, OCI provides the underlying, let's assume, data infrastructure and tremendous data services like data science, data flow, gives you an ability to synthesize data, not only from POS, but now your financial system, your supply chain, your customer experience, bring all that data from different sources into a common data lake inside OCI, and then use interesting tools like data science, data flow to take that data, change its format, at the same time derive insights from something like Oracle Analytics Cloud, and do predictive analytics, AI, machine learning, stuff like that on top of these data sources that are brought together in an OCI and data science umbrella in a data lake. So it just makes natural sense when you have a end-to-end business being managed by Oracle application, and when you provide this vast infrastructure or hyperscale infrastructure of OCI, it helps you bring all assets, all data sources together,
right.
and derive intelligent insights from it.
So with retail, right? Like we had a good example. Like it's a lot about data modernization, making your data intelligent, understanding what consumers are doing, and sort of adapting the data to help your business, right? In a very different industry like manufacturing, like I'm assuming the actual fundamental value proposition is different. What would that be?
Yeah, in manufacturing, actually, Oracle, obviously, from application standpoint, has been strong for a long time. But a lot of large manufacturers like automotive OEMs manage their financial or ERP on,
or even PLM systems, right?
Or PLM system run on top of Oracle stack for a long time. But we also took a different tack. We said, okay, where do manufacturers or automotive companies spend majority of their budget? They spend majority of their budget in either manufacturing plants as well as design systems, right? So how a car company is designing its car, we call it digital product design. That's where majority of the budget and the resources go to make the next generation electric car or autonomous driving car. So we decided to kind of build a strong ecosystem in that area, which traditionally Oracle is not known to kind of operate in. So we spent tremendous amount of time building an ecosystem of partners like Altair and Converge Sciences and companies like that. So we could go after the digital product design market. And the proof is in the pudding. Now we have some of the largest automotive OEMs on our platform running thousands and thousands of cores and billions of calculations and millions of core hours. Companies like Nissan that are leveraging Oracle Cloud Infrastructure to do end-to-end digital product design, essentially a mock-up of a physical car into a digital world. People call it digital twin as well. Essentially, that's what they're doing on top of OCI to accelerate their design cycle and make cars safer.
Yeah, so basically what you're saying is if I go and drive the next Nissan GTR, potentially the wind tunnel simulation was done on our cloud.
Potentially the wind tunnel simulation was done to optimize the exterior aerodynamics of the car, to make sure that the car is fuel efficient and things like that. So durability, crashworthiness, there are so many areas of digital product design. Today, these customers are running on top of OCI, and it took us some time. As you know, you and I have been in trenches in getting that done for OCI. But now that we have a full-fledged ecosystem of partners and customers that are running their entire digital product design on top of OCI. And then there's another angle of digital product design, which is called product lifecycle management, where essentially manufacturers store their entire bill of materials or assemblies for their vehicles and the CAD models associated with that.
That's their IP, essentially, right?
That's essentially their IP. That's the heart of what they do. And a lot of these systems run on top of Oracle stack, like Exadata or Exadata Cloud at Customer. So if you look at the end-to-end kind of a value chain for digital product design, starting from PLM to digital twins, to essentially creating a digital mock-up of your design, all of that can be done inside OCI or on top of OCI infrastructure very, very efficiently.
And thanks again to Tejas for coming and giving us a little bit of insight into what this all means. Thanks, everybody else. We'll catch you on another episode next time. Bye.